Okay, so in this video, I am going to show you how to start digitally painting your person. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to select the areas that you want to start with. So I'm actually going to maybe digitally paint the shirt separately from the face. I think I'm going to do the hair separately as well. I might even have this as a separate one. So I'm going to start with the shirt since it's behind the face. You can see my chin is in front of the shirt. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a new layer. And on this new layer, I'm going to label it shirt. Now, with the layer shirt, I need to first select the shirt here. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to lock my background first. So I'm going to click on the layer for the background, lock it so I don't accidentally do anything to that. I'm going to click on the photo and I'm going to select the shirt. Once I have the shirt selected and I'm sure I've got everything, so I'm going to need to select a few more pixels in here. Whoop, less of that. Looks like I got some hair in there too, so I might have to fix that. Then I'm going to go ahead and move over to the shirt layer. So for the first thing, what you're going to do is you are just going to put in a color. You're not going to worry about texture yet. You're just going to put in a color to be your shirt, right? So I've decided that I'm going to do a triadic color scheme because I really like triadic color schemes. And my triadic color scheme is going to be, so I have these different red violet colors in the background right now. I'm going to do red violet, yellow, orange, and blue green as my color scheme. So my shirt, I think I'm going to do my shirt. Ooh, this is a hard one. I think I'm going to do it blue-green. So I'm going to go ahead and do blue-green in the shirt. And I get to kind of choose what kind of blue-green I want. I'm going to definitely do a dark blue-green. But this is my half tone of this color. So this is the pure color that I'm going to be working with. And then I'm going to make it darker to do the shadows. So I don't want it to be too dark, even though this is a dark hue here. I want it to be kind of like what the main color is on this. I'm going to do slightly darker. And then with my brush tool, make sure that your brush tool is at, oops, where'd it go? There it is. At 100% opacity. Make sure you're on the shirt layer. And then also, I'm going to check and make sure the hardness is at 100. And I'm just going to fill that bad boy in. Now, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, what is she doing? She's coloring over the whole shirt. It doesn't really matter right now. I can always decrease the opacity and kind of see my shirt again. I can also hide the shirt if I need to. So not a big deal. All I'm doing right now is just color blocking. I'm going to eventually go in and I'm going to add shadows and then I'm going to blend those. So it's a simple process of color blocking. So I've got the shirt. Now I need a new layer. I'm even going to deselect the shirt. And in my new layer, I'm going to call this face. So this is my face layer. And in this one, I'm going to lock my shirt layer so I don't accidentally do anything with that. I need to go back to the original photograph. And in the original photograph, I'm going to select the face. Now I just want the face selected. So if it selects too much, then I need to make sure that, oops, wrong button. Then I hold down Alt and I remove some of the things I don't want. Whoop, too much. And I think I'm even going to remove the hair. I might just keep the hair in there. I think I'm going to have the hair be a part of it. Yeah, I'm going to do the hair and the face on one layer. My goodness. It's to select everything, doesn't it? I can go in and refine this shape if I want to. I'm not going to include the flower, so I'm going to avoid that. Alrighty. So just like before, if I want to, I can refine the edge. Using the gray, go around the edge, making sure to pick up the hair. Now look how it erased part of my eye there. I need to go in and make sure that that comes back. And I want my head up here too. See how it's basically kind of correcting itself? Need to go over here. And I am going to use this to pick up some of the hair over here. This is such a wonderful tool. Got almost everything. Make sure that I have things not selected. That shouldn't be selected. Alrighty. So I've got most of it in there, and I want it to export as a selection. And now I've got pretty much everything I need selected. I'm going to go back to the face layer in my layers panel, and now I can start to carefully paint. So when I say carefully paint, I mean you're going to take your time. So yellow orange was the other color that I have. And I am going to probably put some variation of value in those yellow oranges. Not a lot, though. So yellow orange, the pure color. I'm going to start off with that one, and I'm going to put that mostly in the lighter areas of the face, right? So I'm going to be painting this in. Oh, deselected. I thought I was on the brush tool. My bad. So we've got yellow, orange. The brush tool. Like I said, I'm going to be painting that in carefully. I'm not really super concerned about the hair right now. I'm just going to worry about putting it where it belongs on this image. It's going to look a little bit funny at first. My computer is super slow, so it's a little difficult for me to figure out where I'm going with everything. I'm going to sort of avoid my shadowed areas. I'm going to actually come in probably with red violet in the face in my shadowy areas. I think that'll look more interesting than just having yellow orange all over the face. You can see it's really kind of a funny looking process. And I'm really focusing on the lighter areas right now. I'm building up that shading or the color. You're probably going to have to zoom in spots. You're going to get really up and close and personal with your subject. So sorry if you don't feel like you were really ever going to have to really examine that person in your life. But you are going to have to for this project. And I am being careful when I'm drawing. If I make a mistake, I can just undo it with Control Z. Ugh, this thing. So it's taking forever for mine because of the recording process. But I'm going to show you what it looks like when I move over to a new color. So I'm going to pick up this red violet over here and go back to my brush tool, and I'm going to start adding that in. This is going to be existing in this darker area. And you'll notice too that I don't have a soft brush. That is intentional. I don't want a soft brush right now. I want a hard brush so that I can select areas if I need to work on very specific areas. And it is very important that you are being kind of careful as you're going and you're really paying attention to where you're drawing. I went a little too far with this one. Make a smaller brush. Keep going up the side of the face, making it smaller. And you notice I'm not outlining at all. I am going exactly where this needs to go. No outlines necessary. Filling in my shadows, breaking up my space. And eventually this will really start to look good. Right now it looks really silly, I know. But as I tell you all the time, things often look good before, or look bad before they look good. So if you're looking at this going, oh my gosh, this is awful, don't worry. You're not even close to being finished. So you'll get there. And you can see right now where I am. I have some colors in there, and it's kind of really creating this already very pop art look to it. And if at any time, if I need to go back and kind of look at what's behind it, I can always lower the opacity and I can actually draw in it this way. So I can go, oh, I messed up here, or hey, I need to add more there. It's not hard to just lower the opacity and just follow the rest of the drawing, especially if you're wanting to erase things. So if I'm going, oh, I drew over the hair here, I need the eraser tool to fix that. Just grab the eraser tool and erase, right? Probably do a little bit better job erasing than that, but there you have it. So if you need to use a mouse, please let me know. You don't need to draw this without a mouse. Oops, I need to make this full opacity. I'm gonna get the right color. If you need to switch between colors, you'll have to bring the opacity up, select that color, and then you can continue painting, but you'll need to bring the opacity down again in that layer if you're trying to get the exact color again. So I want you to continue working on this, refining all of your shapes on it. I might even bring in some green in this darker area over here on the side of the face. I'm not sure yet. I kind of like the idea of I might turn my flower green so that it stands out with the background. But I don't think I'm going to make my hair green. I don't think that will look good with the shirt. So we'll see. We'll see as time goes on how this is looking. And I'll have examples during class for you to look at and kind of get a gauge of where I'm going with this. But your first step is going to be color blocking. So that's what you're going to be doing in class today, is you're going to be working on color blocking once you finish that awesome background. So hopefully you learned something. I'm going to keep working on this. I'll show you what it looks like so far. I probably am going to do my irises green like they are in the photograph, but green as in this like blue green here. So there you have it. That's where I am so far, but I'm going to be color blocking everything, including the hair and the flower. And then the next stage is going to be putting shadows in. So you'll see how this goes. It's a process that you just slowly keep building up that process. I will say that the whites of my eyes are pretty white. So I probably am going to put a lighter yellow orange in that spot and keep building that up, or keep working on that. So I might put a slightly darker, I think I'm going to do a red violet in the hair, but it is possible to start off with a lighter or a darker color if you feel like that's necessary in yours. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and please feel free to ask questions if you need them.